Hello everyone. So in this video we will talk about how we can connect our Amazon S3 bucket to Palantir Foundry. So to do that, let's create a project. I'm going to my files. I'll create a new project for that. So there is an option of creating a new project. I'll click on that. Then I need to specify whether it's a production ready project or it's just a sandbox project. So I'll go with the sandbox one. I'll give a name data connection project. Then you can give a description of it, it's an optional, and then you can select a portfolio. It's up to you. Right now I do not have any portfolio so you can leave as it is. Click on create project. Once the project is created, we can create a new folder for S3. Once the folder is created, we need to go and open data connection application. Let's open that data connection. This is the home page of your data connection application. In this, we need to click on new source. So as we know, we are trying to connect to Amazon S3, so Amazon S3 bucket will be a source for us. As you can see, we have a lot of other connectors available right now, like Amazon DynamoDB, then AlloyDB, HBase, etc. Okay, so we are just trying to connect our AWS S3 bucket, so we will search that S3. So this is the available connector for Amazon S3. We will click on this. In this is the overview. It explains actually how you can connect your Amazon S3 bucket with Palantir Foundry. You can go through this. We will hit continue. Then it is asking how you wanna connect your Amazon S3 bucket. So you have two approach: direct connection and agent connection through an agent. So direct connection means it uses the public network and directly connect with your Amazon S3 bucket, and it's automatically managed. You don't need to think about the management, right? But whereas when you go with the agentic approach, you will need to implement or install an agent to your source system, and then you need to manage that agent as well. So here we will go with direct connection. Continue. Then we need to mention the source name. So as we are connecting to S3 bucket, and so let's give us some name like S3 data. Okay, and where we want to store this data. So we recently created a project, so choose a folder in an existing project. We will click on that. We will select our project data connection, and within data connection we have created S3 buckets, S3 folder, so we will select that. Hit select. So inside our data connection project and S3 folder, S3 data will be imported. Okay, let's hit create source and continue. Now we need to mention the URLs for my S3 bucket, then endpoints, and then region and credentials if any. So what we're gonna use here, we will be using the Palantir Foundry public S3 bucket which is available. I have shared that details in my GitHub. I'll be sharing this link as well for your reference. So this is a public sandbox which is available. So let's copy the URL and let's go to our connection URL string and just paste it. Endpoint will be as it is. We just need to change the region. So region is this one. Basically you can use your S3 bucket details here, right? And then under credentials we need to mention the access key and secret. So this is the access key, publicly available access key and secret ID. So we will use that one. Copying the access key. Okay, once done, you can hit save and continue, but we need to mention egress policies as well. So by default, if you see here, so the S3 bucket that we are trying to import, it is also showing us the egress policy, existing egress policy. So what we need to do, we need to import this existing egress policy, but based on your organization you might have your own egress policy, so you should use that one. So import the egress policy here. Once that is imported, basically you are ready to go. Okay, save and continue. Now once this is saved, we will go back to our connection details again, just to be sure that our credentials and connections are working. There is an option of previewing source, so let's hit on this preview source. So at backend it will try to fetch the connection and it will try to establish it with your S3 bucket, and it will show you all the files which is available there. So as we can see, we have this file plant downtime new CSV. So this particular file is present in S3 bucket that we are trying to use. So now that we have confirmed that the connections are fine, we will again hit save and continue. Now it is asking us the output folder where we want to store the files which we are pulling from S3 bucket. So we will generate a new default output folder. By default the name is raw, and we can change the default output folder here. So the raw folder is created inside our data connection here. Okay, so we will go as it is, the default one, the raw one. Select, hit continue. Then export configurations, so we will leave the default configurations. This is related to your export of the sources and how you wanna make any validation checks or not. So this kind of enablement you can do here. We will leave as the default one. Continue. And then again here you can enable the code imports. And so basically we do not touch, we will go with the default settings. Going forward, if you need to leverage this dataset, so you can create your code repository later, right? So let's go with the default settings here. Continue, and finally we will hit explore. So the explore gives you the complete picture of your S3 bucket here. So right now in that S3 bucket we have only one file, so we are seeing only one file here. So the next thing that we want to do, we want to add a sync with what? Sync with our S3 bucket. So add sync, create sync for one dataset. This will sync whatever files, folders are available in your S3 bucket to our Palantir Foundry. Let's wait for a few seconds. Yes, the sync is created. Now the build is running. So open build details, you can click. Here you can see at backend the Palantir Foundry is trying to pull all the files, folders which is available in your S3 bucket to our raw folder. Let's go to our raw folder to see that. Again we will go to files, our project data connection, then raw, and we can see we have this S3 data is created. Let's click on this. Yeah, so we can see our CSV file is available here inside this S3 dataset. Okay, so this is how you can import all of your S3 bucket files, folders to Palantir Foundry. That's it for this video. Going forward we will discuss about how we can manually upload our one-off loads, and then we will discuss how to leverage these datasets and find some insights out of it. Thank you.